Chinese home appliances companies are losing millions of dollars. How are they innovating to overcome this trade war?
Southern Chinese city of ZhongShan is a major manufacturing hub for home appliances. For years, much of its products headed straight to American homes. But an onslaught of U.S. tariffs in April brought shipments to a standstill.
I'm in a factory that makes ovens for some of the world's biggest brands, and 80% of its orders came from the United States. And now, many of them are stuck in this warehouse.
Wow.
Ricky Young is the company's vice president and sales director.
So how much money is tied up here in this warehouse?
It's difficult to tell. See, we have 5 big buyers. Only one of them stock here about 30 container. I think totally is about $5 million.
What does that mean for the U.S.? How much market share do you have in the U.S.?
I occupy about 10% of the market.
10% is a very good market share. Just imagine, they have 5 biggest buyers and only one of them stopped the order because of the tariff, and it's about 30 container and $5 million. So, home appliances export to the US, they have about above 10% above market share. So that's very great. Just imagine how many home appliances exporters and manufacturers are in the world, and they own about 10% market shares.
Ricky's products now face up to 55% in tariffs, a mix of Trump's first-term policies, new levies linked to fentanyl, and blanket tariffs on most countries.
Your clients, what are they saying?
They even feel anxious because they know I will not lower down the price, and they know the tariff will shoot by themselves.
Ricky's clients include Walmart, the world's largest retailer, whose CEO recently warned price hikes are hard to avoid given the reality of narrow retail margins.
今年的这个计划呢，都是有几条线转产，越南的产线，这个是800台，800套，一定要及时入库。
To cushion the blow from tariffs, Ricky's factory, like many others, is moving some production overseas.
In China, we in charge about the developing, the tooling, and then we also make some key component from China and then ship to Vietnam. In Vietnam, we do some simple assembly and also some productions there. We also need to find more buyers. For example, these items belong also from Europe.
Yeah, so that's how Chinese manufacturers are trying to minimize the impact from the tariff. They move some of the manufacturing process to Vietnam, and Vietnam does assembly and maybe a little bit of productions, but most of the productions and tooling and manufacturing are done in China because China has a more skilled labors at cheaper price, and they have a better technologies. And like you already seen, the Walmart, they need to raise prices because retailers, they don't really make lots of margins. They probably make about 3 to 5%, maybe 10% margins if you're lucky. So I do not like that kind of business, but I'm gonna tell you my favorite business at the end of the video.
It's all hands on deck as factories race to deliver during the 90-day tariff reprieve.
一天要做1000台，
Right.
所以你基本上你30秒就半分钟就做一台。
Now, products like these that are highly customized, they come in all sizes and shapes. Automation only goes so far, and skilled labor are very hard to come by. And that's why even with the same production line now existing in Vietnam, China's production line is twice as efficient.
You see, they need to finish 1,000 products every day. So each assembly line stuff, they only have about 30 seconds to work on each product. Yeah, right now most of the productions are manufactured done by automations and AI, but they still need skilled labor to do something that AI and machines, robots couldn't do. So if they move the entire manufacturing line to Vietnam, their cost gonna increase twice. That's what they say. Yeah, Chinese has a more skilled labor at probably cheaper price or maybe similar price, and they have a better technology. So what do you think? What will be the best way for Chinese manufacturers to overcome trade war? And if you think about it this way, right, and maybe the world is taking advantage of Chinese skilled labor at a cheaper price. Everybody benefits from cheaper price.
As efficient.
I suppose if you're 100% made in Vietnam, the price is much more higher than in China. They cannot compare with China.
Can the U.S. live without Chinese appliances?
I don't think so.
So Vietnam, that would be twice as more expensive, or maybe it could be the ways of Chinese to make everybody's rely on their manufacturing capabilities. Yeah, if everybody relies on you, you get much more power. And later down the line, they could have pricing powers, whatever. And can U.S. live without Chinese appliances? What do you think? Just look at your appliances at home. Where are they made? Comment down below.
I don't think so.
In northern ZhongShan, this is Dongfeng, a single town with over 8,500 companies in the home appliance supply chain.
And alongside big container order.
So we have Dongfeng. Dongfeng is the north of ZhongShan. So if you look at on the map, so this is a place, ZhongShan, this is a place. So this is Guangdong. Guangdong is a manufacturing hub for the world. So most of the manufacturing factories are in Guangdong province. Guangzhou is there. This is Guangdong. Look at this. This is Guangdong. Guangzhou is the capital city of Guangdong. So north, a little bit distance from capital city. So Dongfeng is north of ZhongShan. So like 8,500 companies are over there, and see how they are coping this trade war.
Smaller direct-to-customer shipments. Here at the Dongfeng Town Government, a new cross-border e-commerce association has been set up to help companies make that shift.
Huanglong makes luxury cabinets for wine and cigars. Half of his exports go to the U.S. But in tough times, domestic e-commerce has been a lifeline for his work.
Our products are non-essential. When prices rise, consumers tend to cut back, so tariffs hit us harder. We've been in domestic e-commerce since 2011. The local markets are still huge. Now the town is pooling our supply chain resources together to build a brand for overseas markets.
Now they are relying on their domestic market for consumptions temporarily, and they are selling direct to the U.S. customer. Just imagine, right? U.S. companies, they order from these main manufacturers, and then they mark up the margins. Then the end consumer gets lower. They need to pay higher for that. So if they can ship it directly to consumer, consumer gonna pay the tariff, right? Either way. So even if they pay the tariff, it will be much cheaper than buying from the local store in Americas. So I think that would be really genius. It will be interesting to see how they will be able to accomplish that. If you have any idea how they would do, comment down below. Do you think there is a better way for them to conquer the US and the world?
Just 20 minutes away in a town called Nantou, another company is taking a different path, doubling down on being the world's factory, a cutting-edge one.
Nantou is like 20 minutes away. So where is Nantou? Nantou is right here. This is Dongfeng. So just across the river or stream, then you reach the Nantou. So not bad. It's only 20 minutes. So they have this. One company has a cutting-edge technologies that they can make lots of products in a very short time, rely on AI and automations. So it's located right here. It's not all ZhongShan city as well. So let's go and see how they are innovating to reduce costs and make better products than everybody else.
Michael Yao's company has been China's top refrigerator exporter for 15 years. He's betting on high tech to maintain that lead.
Today, advances in AI, automation, and robotics have made China's manufacturing efficiency world-class. For large-scale production, that means lower costs. Our high-end products now rival or even surpass brands from Japan, Korea, Europe, and the US in both tech and design. With that edge, we're steadily gaining ground in global markets.
All the persons, all the buyers want to ship more.
Just days after a visit, most of Ricky's inventory was shipped at the request of U.S. clients. Some even placed new orders, hoping to beat the 90-day deadline.
China and the U.S. are rolling back most of the tariffs imposed since early April, but for many companies, the tariffs are still steep. The hope is that more duties are lifted after the 90-day cooling period. In the meantime, companies are bracing for a long fight, building factories overseas, exploring new markets, and doubling down on innovation. The pressure is real, so is the determination to keep moving and keep winning.
After China and US paused their tariff, the customers of Ricky, they placed an order again, and he shipped most of their shipments back to the States. And of course, some companies even place new orders to beat 90-day deadline, right? In case something happens after 90 days, at least we have inventory to basically to write out the tariff, right? In this tariff war, trade war, if anything happens, the ones who have the inventory could keep the price stable and keep it low and win the customer. Customers, they love cheap prices at high quality products, right? So it's very, very simple way to win the customer. But these are commodity business, so that's why I prefer not to be in commodity business, because you are competing on the price. And when was the last time if you want to shop for even for some electronic home appliances, you may not care about brand so much, right? Like, as long as it does the purpose, then you're just gonna look at the price. Hey, this is not bad. It has a function, it has the good price point, and we're just gonna buy. So similarly, so these are commodity business. So I prefer not to do it. And what is Section 301 tariff? Section 301 tariff is, if U.S. government thinks that there are some countries that are imposing unfair trade practices, then they could impose, U.S. could impose 25% tariff. So that's what it is called. The law allows U.S. government to impose tariff on unfair practices that they think. So yeah, look at this one, 1974, U.S. Trade of 1974. Yeah, foreign practices. Yeah, so literally it could be anything, right? Any non-tariff barrier, or maybe even tariff. So they can put it. They have federal tariff 20%. So 10% tariff will be everybody else. So what is one business that I like the most? That would be stock investing, call options, put options, and advanced option trading. I only work 1 to 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, 20 days a month, and travel around the world, bring my family. And if I could make this much, 100,000, your life would be much better than owning a factory and owning a company, manufacturing company, because they are subject to more economic crisis, right? Political situation as well. So their margin is not that high, and they need to open 24 hours to work shift. So now only 1 to 3 hours, 100,000. So if you want to learn more, go to, of course, you need to invest a little bit. If you are in the US, you can start with $10 and you can do it every day regularly. And most of the capital, like, it's come from human capital, the education. It's not so much of money. Even if you have $1 million, you're not gonna get this much money if you don't know how to do. So the most important thing is education. So if you want to learn more, go to Mastery Stock Option Crypto and go to playlist, and you can see so many investment playlist you can watch. If you want to just start out, the links gonna be in the description comment down below. Share, subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Bye.